I know Skylar's gonna watch this.
Yep.
I need him to write a max fine in Kangaroo Court, because we love Kangaroo Court. Violio breaking his bat during the Derby.
Yes.
Like, dude,
That-
you can't do
He
that.
hit it off the end of it. I'm like, what are you swinging at?
Like, Eduardo, no bueno. What are we doing?
Hey now, you're an all-star, and, well, you're a previous all-star. Welcome to the IBL Inside Pitch. My name is Mark Perry, alongside Neil Srivastava and Braden Farrington. And guess what, Braden? Myself and Neil have finally joined the ranks of all-stars. We got in as commentators, at least myself. I was part of the commentary team. Neil was on there for
Yep.
most of the time as well. You know, a great time in Hamilton for the IBL All-Star Showdown in Hamilton. And, you know, I'll just start right off the hop. I mean, the atmosphere was hopping. Everybody was having a great time. You know, Neil, what were your observations from a great day up in the Hammer?
Oh, it was just a great job by everybody across, from the volunteers that set things up to the people behind the scenes that started working about this stuff 6 months ago when they officially got announced, hey, yeah, Hamilton's hosting. We got a lot of work to do. How are we going to pull this off? And, shouts out to Sophie, shouts out to Eric, the whole Spearman family, everybody that's on game day staff, the Cardinals and everybody else, Cable 14, they're volunteers. And then we have the broadcast team that put that one together on the field too. It's just like, it was just hats off to everybody. Hats off to Alec, hats off to Reese, Julius, yourself, Reed. Hey, it was a great day. It was an absolute great day, and I think it was a great showcase for the league. And we got a chance to go coast to coast yesterday on CHC television, which I did not have on my list of things to do this year. But lo and behold, I got friends in BC, so I caught you on CHCH today. And it's just like, that was weird. It's just weird, but yeah.
But it was cool. Like I was fortunate enough to, I guess, not be there, but fortunate enough to be at home watching the CHCH broadcast and then the Cable 14 broadcast, and you guys killed it, along with everybody else that was there. So you guys should be proud of yourself. That was very well run. Even the game day stuff. I saw some volunteers running around, making sure all the fans were entertained and knew where they were going, because not everyone has been to the Hammer before, so hopefully they got a good first impression.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say is next year I always say is next year is further south. I'm not allowed to say who's got it next year, but it's further south down the 401. So it's further south. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
All right then.
Okay.
I will say too, the you talk about broadcasting teams, Neil. I'm pretty sure, looking at everybody that was either there on the air or just in checking out. Pretty sure 7 of 9 teams were represented in the IBL in terms of broadcast staff, and I'm talking about on the air. 8 if you include Matt from London, who was doing a great job and running around, doing his thing, taking photos and keeping his staff going and prepared and getting everything done as well. So I think everybody on the broadcast side of things really showed up from
no question,
everywhere.
And that's what I like to see. Like I know the first year and everything else, it felt like more of a Welland show. Where this year, I think the goal was to and try to be very inclusive, include everybody, and give everybody an opportunity to be part of this thing, because it's a showcase not only for the host team, but it's a showcase for the entire league. And that's what I hope everybody got away from that, is like, we weren't playing favorites. Yeah, there's a lot of guys from Hamilton, a lot of guys from Welland there because they earned the spot and everything else. But hey, it was about everybody. It was about everybody being there and just making new friends and seeing how these other guys on these other teams you get to see against across the field are actually are in real life as far as this stuff goes too. So I hope that's what they take away from it.
Oh yeah, because even like last week, I kind of pleaded to the guys that were going to be playing in this game, and even in the home run derby, just be yourselves. Let the fans see you for who you are. And like from what I saw on TV, like I did it pretty good. Like got to see my boy SKYLAR have his little interview. down with Alec
Yeah, like
there. Like,
Skylar, if you watch this, I need to see a picture of this outfit because now I've been looking all over your social media, I've been looking over
it
our
looked
social
good.
media. I got to see this outfit.
It
I
looked
was a
really good.
closet 90210 fan back in the day, so because again, I worked back in the days. I was in high school when 90210 was younger. And of course, Wednesday nights it was like I was working in the high school team and everything else. Of course, the girls' basketball teams.
Yeah.
They'd all go over to somebody's house and they'd all have spaghetti and they'd watch that at 8 o'clock. So I got included in those things. So I was announcing those games. So he says, "Hey, you got to come out with and hang out with us." So I did.
Yeah,
I got hooked in the 90210. I get it.
like I thought it was really cool because like he brought his son in for the interview, and like that's what this
that was
also
very
this whole
sweet.
event's for. Like,
Yeah.
bringing everybody together, the families, because you know what, nothing against the players, but like it's not just you that got you here. Like it's the people behind the scenes.
No, exactly.
Like, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, uncle, like son, daughter. Like it's a whole team, right? And like and even like the broadcast, right? Like not many people got to understand, what actually happens behind the scenes to make this actually happen. Like some people just think, oh, they just flip a switch and then it's on. No, it's a lot of moving parts.
No.
And
if you guys could only see what actually was going on behind the scenes for the first couple of innings, as Mark was firsthand to it, we lost our playback monitor. We had nothing going on, so we had no replays. We couldn't see lineups. So I'm just like, they're in my head and everything else, doing their dangest to keep us on pace here. And I'm just like, okay, we're rolling through this. And again, it was just like little technical things that none of you guys see, but it's just like behind the scenes, there's widespread panic going on behind us going, we got to fix this because they got to be able to see replays. We got to be able to, walk people through things.
I will say, as a viewer, though, like you would have zero idea that was happening.
Yeah.
Because it was flawless. I thought it was flawless. Some other people might complain, but like whatever. But like I thought it was very smooth and well done. So good job, guys.
Thank you. I will say nothing runs perfectly. If you tell me you've run an event, if you tell me there's an event that ran everything according to plan, everything was done smoothly, everything right to the last, minute detail was done right to how you imagined it, I'd call you a liar. I'm not saying that everything was perfect in Hamilton by any means, but they did everything that they possibly could to put on a show. Not only the players, but the broadcasters, the Cable 14, everybody behind the scenes, to the scorekeepers in behind us as well, asking us a couple of questions, whether it's trying to decide who's going to be the MVP. By the way, I did not have a say on the MVP. It just happened.
That was a quick discussion via text message. It's just like, Yep.
No, exactly.
Because like somebody messaged me in the seventh inning. So who are you picking for MVP? I'm like, oh yeah, we got to pick that, don't we?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah.
But just to kind of wrap up my point, they did everything in their power to make sure everything was done for the fans in attendance, and for the viewers watching at home, to put on the best product possible. And I think with everything that happened, they did an excellent job, and mission accomplished. So I definitely give everybody a round of applause for everything that they did behind the scenes. Let's talk about in front of the scenes very quick, and you alluded to it with the home run derby. What were some of your highlights, both of you guys? Obviously, Braden, you got to watch. Neil, you were calling it. What were some of your favorite moments from just that home run derby that went off?
Oh, it's crazy how much the wind was a huge factor yesterday. Anybody hitting it to left field, man, I just felt so bad. I'm going, yeah, nothing's carrying out today. Nothing's going out. Like you have to hit missiles, and even then you have to hope the wind just kind of lets it scoot through. But it was like I don't know. It was just Tyler Duncan when he gets into this zone as far as that stuff. Him and Josh Niles have got it down to a science as far as what they have to do. And shout out to Salazzo having some fun during the breaks and everything. I'll eat some pasta and everything else. That was hilarious. And of course, I gotta go back to even before the home run derby. Shout out to Red Customs for Ryan Rios's shoes. That was a highlight. And he brought them up to show me and say, "Hey, do you mind taking a couple pictures of these things?" And I was like, I'm like, "Sure, man. Like this is amazing. This was absolutely amazing."
You know what's funny?
Had a great conversation.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought him up, like the whole Red Custom stuff.
Yeah.
I was at work earlier in the day, and he saw like my video that I posted about my clear glove, and I was like hoping one of the players would upstage that, right? Which the cleats are great. They're awesome. They did what it needed to do, and it was great. he slid into my DMs and said, "Hey, I got something ready to go." And I'm just like, at the time, I'm thinking like, who is this guy sending me this message right now? Like, I was so confused. I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden I see it and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, I like that. Like that's that shows Ryan's personality right there to a T.
No, and you got Jonah Weisner with a custom bat from the company. I'm not going to name the name because it's just not one of the sponsors of the league, so I can't go there.
Oh, that's so funny. But I will say my big takeaway, it's kind of funny. So I know Skylar's going to watch this. I need him to write a max fine in Kangaroo Court because we love Kangaroo Court. Violio breaking his bat during the Derby.
Yes.
Like dude, you can't do that.
He hit it off the end of it. I'm like, what are you swinging at?
Like, Eduardo, no bueno. What are we doing?
Like Sterling Joseph had to be his defense attorney to the ruling, saying that doesn't count as a timeout because that was just awful. But hey, on the same token, I know Justin Gideon. I don't know if you saw the clip or not from the home run derby that he was in. He threw the bat. I had to go chase it.
Yeah. Like I don't know what's worse.
Yeah, I don't know, but that was just hilarious. It's just things that happen in a home run derby. It's just like it's unheard of that you break a bat, but it happens.
Yeah, I was speechless, and even my fiance was watching, like, and she doesn't she's not as involved with the IBL as we are. Love her to death. She sat and watched the whole home run derby. Like, I'm like, okay, kudos to you. Like, this is awesome. Like, she didn't have to. Like, she knows Mullen pretty decent because me and his relationship, and like, she was cheering him on, and obviously the Wind had other ideas.
The Wind is just, I don't know. Like, on a Sunday, usually the Wind is going out to the left field. But for some reason yesterday it was just blowing in. I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, it's just not. It's not what you predict. You can't predict the wind. You can predict the weather. You can't predict the wind.
Yeah, it's tough. That was a tough go, but all in all, great source of entertainment for the fans. Like, it was a very well run show.
Yeah, it was.
What the jerseys used. I mean, got the Cobra chickens in there. Salazzo pulling out the old Hamilton Thunderbirds jersey.
Thunderbirds,
nice.
That was
nice.
That was nice. That was a very nice touch.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to point out too was there was a picture that showed up on Instagram of the baseballs that were used in the home run derby as well. Maybe that might factor into maybe how some of the counts might have been down a little bit, or.
Might have been, but again, it's hard. Like, it's very hard as far as, I don't know. It just seemed it was a very not very wind friendly game, that's for sure. Whereas in Welland, the wind was blowing out, so it was like balls were carrying better. Two guys were hitting things up in the air, and it was just like, okay, yeah, that thing's got a chance. Oh no, it's gone. Whereas yesterday it was like, okay, just hopefully the wind doesn't impact this baseball. We get a couple out here, please.
Yeah, I give all Mark. I sent you that photo, right?
Yeah.
I knew I had my own 2 cents on it, but we could label it as like Ballgate, maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Deflategate 2.0 baseball edition.
Oh man. Yeah.
We'll try again next year.
Well, it was a great job done by everybody, and it's Tyler Duncan defeating Grayson Barrett in the final, and that was actually a pretty entertaining final. But I want to take you guys back as well. There were a couple of swing offs in there. What was it? It was Nolan Macabrota taking on. Was it Grayson Barrett in the semifinal? No. Who was it? There was like 3 different swing offs in that same.
Macabrota and Salazzo in that first.
It was
first
Macabrota
round.
Salazzo, yeah.
Salazzo, yeah. And it was just like, yeah, okay. Johnny, I don't know. He's got some. When he gets to that timeout spot, he's like, something goes up in there. And I think Alec hit the nail on the head yesterday as far as that goes. He's great till the timeout, and then the timeout just seems to stall him for a little bit. But Dan Marra got a great job getting him back on track there. Yeah. As far as that stuff goes.
I was glad to see Marra throw to him though. Like that was cool to see. Just because like
Yeah.
the whole like Slaza being in Toronto for so many years, right? And Marra throwing BP to them, like it was awesome.
Constantly, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's move on to the actual game itself. Kitchener's Junior Ibarra winning the MVP award, going 2 for 2, 3 RBI, and overall, great game enjoyed by many, and a low scoring game, 5-4. I say low scoring by IBL standards, of course, but what did you guys make of the sights and sounds?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was, it was very good. It's like, as far as well played for both teams, guys have a lot of fun out there. You can just see and everything else, and guys having a little bit of fun with it too. So it was good. You see Dustin Richards come out to the Undertaker's theme, and of course, I don't know what happened. It was that the first run he's given up in like 2 years, or something like that. First home run, Sadler Goodwin, only home run of the day, and it's like, bam, that was a monster shot. His second in 2 games, as well as that stuff goes. So yeah, great to see Sadler Goodwin swinging the sticks for the Barnstormers, and then guys like that, and of course Toby Simmons with the the highlight reels on the hitting the baseballs out there, legging out a triple and legging out a double, and just showing off his speed. Great things.
Halfway to the cycle.
Yeah, he was close. Like I think overall, like it was a good game. You know what? Like that's a close scoring game, which you expect best on best competition, right? Like nobody wants to watch a blowout happen. Well, some people might, but us as baseball people, we love the whole 9-inning game, start to finish. So I thought it was very well done. Like even I think that the managerial, switches were really good timing too. So everyone kind of got even playing time. Where
it was pretty much at the 4.5 inning mark, they pretty much just switched guys out, or they did it over 2 innings, so it wasn't just a wholesale. Okay, here's a brand new 9 coming out now.
Yeah, which is awesome. You know what? Like I've been a part of other All-Star games where unfortunately a couple guys didn't play, so they didn't get that moment, which it sucks, right? It just sucks for them making all that time and effort and energy to show up. So I'm just glad everybody kind of got in. So which is super cool because they'll take that on for the rest of their lives. So,
exactly.
Well, on the field, Team North taking an early lead, Team South making a game of it toward the very end. Jonathan Salazzo coming in to get the save. Who had that one on their bingo card?
Not me. Like the last time I saw Salazzo pitch, I think you said it was 2021, but I think it was 2019. I think that's the last time I saw him pitch in person and everything else. So it's just like, it was like old. It felt like something brand new, but it was like something that just felt very familiar for me, anyways. Out there, going out there in a situation where they didn't have a lot of pitchers left, so hey, let's give Johnny a shot. And that's not a shot against Salazzo or anything, because he's not a pitcher by trade, but he can throw the baseball, as he proved last night. I think the Brownlee strikeout, of course, I have to dub it up to Ken Griffey Jr. baseball now, because it's gonna be like, oh, come on, from now on. I love you, Cleve, but that was just it was hilarious.
I
but you got your revenge at the end. You got your revenge at the end.
Like I thought it was cool watching Salaz pitch, because like again, me being a pitcher, like I'm not sitting down ready to see that happen. Like and even it's a close game too. So I'm like, I'm like, okay, I have to now pay attention to this because I don't know what's about to unfold. Like, could it go one way where he strikes out the side, or is he giving up 15 bombs here because he's just throwing it down the middle? So it was good entertainment from a fan standpoint, that's for sure.
Yeah. And just to let the fans know, that wasn't the intention to have position players pitch in this ball game. It wasn't the intention. Just unfortunately how the pitching plans worked out for a lot of teams this weekend. It was just like, hey, my guy can't go, or hey, I've got to throw Wednesday now, so I can't throw. So it's just like, because it's just things happen. As far as you got injuries, you got guys, for various reasons have to pull out, or just not, they're on a second day of coming back after throwing on a Thursday or Friday. Hey, my arm's still hanging here, so I can't go out there and risk it, because we got baseball. We have real games that mean something coming up next week that we have to be ready for.
Yeah,
we're at that point in the situation in the season now. It's like, hey, it's push come to shove, you're a week away from the trading / signing deadline, and guys are pretty much, okay, you got to make a decision what we're doing with some of these guys too, because it's like, okay, maybe so-and-so can't get it done right now, so I've got a week to figure out this position spot now, and so-and-so's on this roster, and it's like, okay, yeah, what's going to happen there?
Yeah.
That's just, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I would love to hear fans' positive feedback. And of course, Mark, if you want to tag my email address, the league email address, into this podcast and everything else, please reach out, guys and gals. We want to make this game more about you guys and gals, as what we can do to make the fan experience better. What can we do as a league to make this better? We want this to grow. We want this to go to every park in a different year. Like, as you know, every different park's going to get an opportunity to do these things. And like I keep alluding to, it's further down south next year. So hey, maybe start making some plans for next July to head down further down south, like way down south. Okay, and we'll just leave it that way. So I don't get yelled at. It's not the most historic ballpark in the league next year. Okay, that might be 2 years from now, but that's beside the point. Okay, that's all I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Emails in the comment section, guys. So if you definitely have something in there, let Neil know. And obviously, you can also drop an email anytime at iblinsidepitch@gmail.com for any kind of homework assignments that we leave you, or any comments, or anything else that you have on your mind regarding the IBL that we might be able to use in future episodes. Well, I think pretty much kind of wraps things up for the All-Star game specifically, unless you guys have anything else. Maybe favorite moments, favorite interviews that Alec and Reese did at the field, maybe even an interview that Neil did, or even one that Julius Hearn did as well.
There was just so many. It was so great to hear some of those stories too, and just like everybody that was there. I think they picked the great ones to go out there and have some fun with. Of course, there was some stuff that Ryan shot that I couldn't post on the league TikTok because somebody left off a big F-bomb halfway through one of those things trying to get his team going. I was just like, what? Okay, who took over the phone here? You know who you are, Mr. Georgia.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I think so. I know at least my favorite interview, the whole thing, was Emmett. Like,
yeah. Emmett was just, absolutely.
It was crazy. Like, for his age and the way he was speaking, that blew my mind. Like, he talks honestly way better than I'd say majority of the players do when it comes to interviews.
Oh, I know.
No, and it was just like
he was. I was like, who's this kid? Like, come on, like, I'm expecting something to come out, like it's like he's got it rehearsed or something, but no, it was just straight from the heart. Like he was the happiest guy to be there.
Yeah, he wanted to be there.
He was the happiest guy to be there. Like, I don't think that smile left his face the whole time. And those are the takeaways that, as a guy from the, when you put these things together and you try to build things around things, those are the things you build off of. Yeah. Those are the take-home feel-good moments that you build off of.
100%. Like the kid was just like grinning ear to ear, and you can just see even the players around him kind of got that energy and the vibe, right? So like it was just so cool. Like I'm really happy he was able to be officially a part of it this year. Last year he was kind of there. We kind of forced him on the field, but whatever.
Yeah.
So at least this year he kind of knew what he was getting himself into.
Oh, exactly.
Cool.
His parents sent me a text message tonight, like at 7 o'clock tonight, because we were going live here, and that's why I looked down at my phone, and it's just like they were really appreciative and everything else, and that's
awesome.
This is something I'm just going to keep the wording private because it's very touching and very very. I felt good about it just because I had a little small hand in getting this guy to the All-Star game.
Perfect.
And it was a kid that deserved it. Yeah, absolutely, kid deserved it. And he shouts out to Gavin's as well, for Gavin McKenzie, the Royals bat boy. Did a great job. Yeah, he didn't get as much hype and everything else, but hey, he was there. He was working his butt off yesterday.
Yep.
He was working his butt off.
Yeah, he really was.
Shout out to Gavin as well.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that participated at the home run derby and the All-Star Showdown in Hamilton, whether it was behind the scenes or in front on the field, doing the interviews, playing the game, and just the fans in general for showing up. And again, just everybody just giving it 110%, and it was a great time, and it was the first time I actually got to be at Bernie Arbor Stadium to take in everything that Bernie Arbor brings to the table. So I'm very
Yeah.
happy that I was able to take that in, and great time was had for sure.
Did you try the poutine though?
I did not.
Oh,
I did
I
not.
didn't. I didn't. I had one beverage like the whole time I was there, and I was just like, really? I'm like, I'm leaving it. Like, I could not get out of my chair, really, because every time I tried to go get out of my chair, somebody would stop me for something else, or, oh, we got 15 minutes. Can you do this?
You're so
Like, sure,
famous.
whatever. Yeah, well, I
That's
wasn't
how
famous. It's
busy.
just, well,
Big
That's
deal.
how busy he is,
I
because
know.
I could have easily taken over the headset. He knows he leaves the booth, he's not getting to the concession
Yeah.
stands.
Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, I had to go to the bathroom from like the second inning on, but it's just like, it's not happening. It's just not happening.
Oh, wow. Well, a special shout out to, as well, for the guys that did interviews with myself in between the home run derby and the game itself. You're going to see those interviews on the other side of the power rankings, which we are going to get to right now. But thanks again to Jakob Cantor, Jeremie VEILLEUX, SKYLAR, JANISSE. By the way, Braden, your name does come up in that interview, so
Uh-oh.
definitely stay tuned for that one. As well as Dan MARRA. Had a great chat with Mr. MARRA himself, just about everything and his experiences in 14 years in the IBL, playing with his brothers and everything. But
Yeah.
every little bit of those interviews are going to be up on the other side of the power rankings, and we will have a special episode drop later on this week involving an interview that we actually just taped before we went on the air here right now with Chris Lazar, former Barrie Baycat, former Hamilton Cardinal, now a member of the Guelph Royals. Sorry, also former member of the Welland Jackfish. I can't leave them out of that as well. But a guy that's seen quite a bit of baseball, and we had a really good conversation with him. So again, stay tuned for that later on this week. Power rankings, guys. Let's get right into it, because there is still a lot of baseball to be played, but not too much baseball left to be played, because we are a week away from the transaction deadline. We are about a month away from the IBL playoffs. Into the power rankings we go. The Brantford Red Sox at the bottom of the list this week, 6 losses in a row. But, we've been talking about this team all season long. They're much different than we have seen in the last couple of years. Bad 8th inning against the Guelph Royals that really made the difference. 4 runs against. Jakob Cantor, who we talked to, making his debut earlier on in the week. But this is a team that's played a lot of close games all season long.
No question. I think you said it right actually on the All-Star game. Like 11 losses by 3 runs or less, 8 one-run losses in this thing. So you win half of those guys, and you're not 6. You're probably 10. You're probably right on the back door there for that 8th spot right now. So it just boils down to the little things, those little minor adjustments or something you're not been able to make so far. You still got time to turn around. It's an uphill climb right now, guys. Like you're 6 games behind in the win column right now, but it's not impossible, but it's going to take a lot of heavy lifting and some favors from some friends above you here to move up the standings.
Yeah. Yeah, like we've talked about it all year. They've been in games. They're a team that it's no slouch. They'll fight right to the bitter end, but they just can't get it done yet. I'm gonna stress yet. You know what?
Yeah.
Every team in this league, a lot of the guys watch this podcast.
Yeah.
Considering, what we said about another team last week, they figured it out.
They listened.
They
listened, all right.
Jeremie VEILLEUX, rally the troops, and let's get it going. It's time. That's all I need to say.
All right. Well, one other thing. One other thing to allude to here as well is we've been talking for the last couple of weeks where there's only one matchup head-to-head left against the Kitchener Panthers. There's also only one head-to-head matchup left against the Guelph Royals, who, they were temporarily in that eighth and final playoff spot for a little bit before getting the win over the weekend. But,
Yeah.
just 2 games left combined, like, for the rest of the season against 2 teams that you're, ultimately trying to chase down, who could be in
Yeah.
that spot, and you really need to, kinda hammer down and, some wins and kind of upset a couple of people that are higher up in the standings, and maybe with some luck, you get a good matchup on a good day, or maybe you catch a team that is, on the end of a 4-4 or a 5-5 or just a long stretch of games, and all of a sudden, so you're telling me there's a chance, if you say. But as you alluded
Yep.
to, Braden, it's time to rally the troops because this is a team that, again, as Neil alluded to, as I alluded to last night, 8 one-run losses. You turn those 8 wins around, you're in a playoff spot. Simple as that.
Yeah.
There is hope in the Telephone City in Brantford. Let's move on to number 8 this week. The Toronto Maple Leafs, another quiet week for them. Feels like we've been saying that a lot lately, where they just haven't had as many games. I think they played a lot of games earlier on in the year, or maybe they
Yeah.
just have a bunch of games later on in the season. But for this team, a couple of things to touch on. In those 2 games, just 5 runs for combined in those 2 games. A couple of blowout losses, but congratulations to Jordan Castaldo is in order. 500 career RBIs in the
Yes.
IBL.
No question. No question. It was just great to see him, and yeah, it was the 9th inning and everything else. But he saved the best for last in that unfortunate blowout. But it was like I said, last night in the All-Star game. That was the last clip I made of Saturday night, and it was a very fitting way to end. I want to say the first half of the season, because the All-Star game is technically it should be closer to the middle, but it's just not. But that's in my mind, it's the end of the first half.
Sure. Yeah, no, it was cool to see that. I've been on multiple of those RBIs.
Yeah.
So I'm fortunate enough to, be a part of his history, so it's kind of cool. And it's a number that I think nowadays probably isn't going to get touched. Just the way
No, because
baseball
there's only
works.
3. There's only 3 players in league history that ever hit the 500 mark. So now it's
So
you know what?
I
He might be like Salazo. I don't think he's got the numbers, but everything else. But the home runs, he might get to 100. But it's just there's not a lot of guys that are going to hit these plateaus anymore.
No.
You see this in the majors too. You're not going to see another 300 game winner. You're not going to see somebody get 5,000 strikeouts. Not even going to see these guys get 3,000 hits anymore. That's just not how the game works anymore.
Yeah. So when you as a fan, when you're seeing these milestones happen, I think it's cool because I'm a baseball guy. I'm like, you know what? Tip my cap. That's a lot of behind the scenes work to get this done.
Oh, exactly.
And for him to actually finally do it this year, especially at the start of the year when there's a lot of question marks, nobody knew what was going on.
He wasn't even planning on playing. At one point, it didn't look like he was going to play. So somehow he had a change of heart now and just went out to the numbers wise, and it's great and everything else. I still haven't introduced myself to him as far as this stuff goes. I meant to do it yesterday, but again, just couldn't get downstairs to do anything. So sorry, Jordan.
So the fact that he was able to get to that number, dude, congratulations. That's such a cool thing. There's guys in the league that are stressing over they've only been in the league for half a year technically, and they're stressing.
Yeah.
And this guy's out here oh yeah, 500 RBIs.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Sorry, I gotta take my rings out of my ear to hear you, but my handfuls.
That's so cool. Even honestly, if the younger guys in this league are watching this podcast, go talk to him. Go pick his brain on how to hit off speed, how to set up a pitcher so you force him to throw the pitch you want to hit.
Exactly.
This guy has a wealth of knowledge. Go use that because it's going to help you later on in life.
The guy that gets a lot of hits, and for the longest time, he was leading the league in walks too. So not only can he hit
Yeah.
nukes, the guy's very patient at the plate too. If he sees something
Yeah.
he wants, he's going to hit it. But if he doesn't see what he likes, he's not afraid to sit back.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, that is the Toronto Maple Leafs this week. Let's move on to number 7, the Guelph Royals. Well, they needed that win on Saturday against the Brantford
Oh,
Red Sox.
no question they did.
Yeah, 4 wins in the 8th inning against the Red Sox. Ethan Hammond was huge in that game. We'll touch on Brandon Deans later on in the podcast for wink wink
Yeah.
reasons. But the Guelph Royals this week, loses the 5 straight. They end up winning this one, and I might have some breaking news after you guys analyze the Guelph Royals this week. What do you guys got?
It's just Garrett Takamatsu last night in the All-Star game. I think he hit it on the head, and he said we've played 30 games. Well, actually, it's 30 around the nose. We've played 30 games. We've had 27 different lineups. It might actually be 30, Garrett, but I get the point. It's just like they haven't had their core out there. It's been a different lineup every game because, again, they're a working team. Like they are the original, I guess, the last of the breed as far as this working man's league. These guys all work. They all can't be there at the same time. Come playoff time, it's a different story, and it's like, oh crap! Like I feel like they have to right now. Like this is just to borrow a thing. It's like they're going around with one of those "Hello, my name is" with the name tags on each other because they don't know who's out there with them. They just don't know. That's not a slam against the Guelph Royals by any stretch of the imagination. It's just how things worked out this year, how they've worked out in the past with teams and everything else. It's just how it works out. But yes, it's going to be a different team in 2 weeks. I think it's going to be a different team by the end of this weekend too. So it's just going to be like, yeah, okay. Things are going to be different for this team, and you're going to see things are going to, they've been troublesome as far as offense and everything else. They're going to find ways to score runs. They're not going to win a game 9-1 often. It's not the Guelph Royals old where they're going to put up those big numbers, but they're going to they're going to claw their way back in the ball games. Or they might be down 3-1. They're going to win this game 4-3 or 5-4 or something like that. They're going to pull off those victories down the stretch here because they're going to find a way. There's just too much talent on that team. There's too much character on that team to just go by the wayside. Yes, I'm actually pulling up the Guelph Royals. Brian, you can quote me on that one, okay?
Yeah, like I think with like the news, Mark, that you're about to share with the viewers, I think Neil, you can kind of attest to this. It kind of feels like the wave is coming for Guelph. Like it's just like it's okay. The first kind of half of the season was meh. Now it's like, okay, we now see what's about to happen here. And if it comes together, it could go, a certain way for this team. And, speaking with, our viewer that's going to get released later on this week, I think they're very confident in what's about to transpire.
Yeah. And, I've got that weekend song, I Feel It Coming. It's stuck in my head now. So it's a song stuck in my head now.
We're not going to sing it on here because copyright
No.
and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. No. But that's what's stuck in my head now.
Well, the breaking news that I have is that it's expected this weekend that Claudio Custodio and Franklin Torres are both going to be arriving into the Royal City. So expect to see Claudio Custodio and Franklin Torres as that just shakes up this lineup quite a bit. And it still scratches the head of how do you kind of adjust with the import situation with Torres coming in because you already have the 5 imports. So I'm looking at them right now. So on the active roster right now for imports, it's Claudio Custodio, Edgar Garcia, Sebastian Rodriguez, Daku Ueda, and Hector Yan. 2 of those 5 come off the list to bring on Franklin Torres. I think that's going to be the big question, and it's a question that has to be answered.
Who I would go with here, but again, but I'm not the one making that call. I'm not the one making that call, but it's a tough call. It's a very tough call right here, and it's just like, well, who can get you the? I don't envy the position that Dino is in. I don't envy the position that the Fanjoy and all those guys are in, just as far as having to be the bearer of bad news here. But it's the best move for the ball club.
Yeah.
And that's what they got to think of long term. They went through this last year too, with the Japanese import too, and it was just like, okay, we need to get another pitcher in, so unfortunately, since you don't pitch, we have to release you. And it sucks because, they're very much part of the team to this point. But it's just, how do you do it? How do you do it? And, you have to justify it. And sometimes it's just, okay, who can be the workhorse? Who can do the most value to me going forward? And if I release this person now, do I put them on the inactive list or they outright release them? If I outright release them, where in this league is not going to take this guy? So as far as this stuff goes, like, you don't want this. Yeah. You don't want somebody picking up this guy off the thing and everybody goes, okay, yeah, now what? Yeah. So yeah. And I'm not sure who's on their inactive list right now. I just don't have it off the top of my head.
I have the list in front of me right now. So it's Evan Grills, Yomar Concepcion, who is also another import, Drew Durst, Franklin Torres, and Yuki Narita. So there's three of the 5 on your inactive roster are import players. One of them is going to be pulled off this week.
Yeah. Well, somebody's going to come off of there anyways because they got to come off of there regardless.
Yeah.
As far as this stuff goes, it's just, Torres is leaving the inactive list. So then, okay, do you move that guy you're putting off your active roster to the inactive list to protect them there so you keep his rights for next year, but you can't come back unless you get an astronomical injury where you're going to be cleared, like you can't play anymore this year. You appeal the commissioner and Mr. Callinas makes I don't know, a ruling on that, but it's very rare for that to happen. It's very rare.
Absolutely. Well, we will touch a little bit more on transactions coming up just on the other side. But for now, the Guelph Royals in number 7 on the power rankings this week. To number 6, who awakened the Kitchener Panthers? Big win.
I think we did. We're guilty.
I think we're guilty. A big win over the Maple Leafs.
Oops, that was
a walk-off win over Chatham-Kent. 5 runs in the first to defeat the Welland Jackfish on the road. We'll get more on to Welland's woes at home in a little bit, but even their only loss of the weekend, coming in that extra inning affair against the Barrie Baycats up Highway 400. I think Kitchener Panthers might listen to this podcast, you guys, because I think they listened to what we had to say last week.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm kind of scared if I should go to a Kitchener game this week. Because I might get daggers or claws or something. We'll see happening as far as that stuff goes.
I'll walk in with a big smile.
Hey, how you doing? There you guys go.
Just to see who has something to say.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to see they were able to right the ship and everything else. And I watched most of that Barrie Kitchener game, and they had their opportunities. They just couldn't cash in when they needed to. They had a chance to, as they say, put the nail in the coffin on the Barrie Baycats early, but just didn't get it done. They had opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even like the Chatham game, like nothing. It might have not been his best season this year, but Brett Reed coming in at the end there, getting into some trouble, but then getting out of it shows a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, exactly.
I also said at the start of the year, hey, this is a name that you should remember. But it was cool to see him like strap in there and say, hey, okay, let's go to work now. Like, it's not looking good, but I gotta get out of it. So at least there was something there, and they managed to get the win. So good for him. It was awesome to watch.
Well, I want to read something here. This is a post-game interview that I did with Keith Kiefer, the field manager for the Panthers. This was after the Thursday game against Chatham-Kent, and I asked him about just being able to recover and seeing that kind of performance from your bullpen. And he said, and I quote, "I'm very excited about what happened because that hasn't been happening most of the year. Now I think we're about to turn it around. We're getting our bullpen to contribute, and everyone, guys that were cold are now getting hot. Things are looking pretty good right now." So this is a team that's feeling pretty confident about themselves, and quite frankly, that bullpen that has been not performing for most of the season, they got the job done this week. One other thing I do want to allude to is we still don't know the condition or the status of Evan Elliott. He did go down with kind of an arm thing during that game. In speaking with Kiefer post-game, he just said it's just kind of an arm thing, but we don't know the severity of it. He did come out, I believe that was in the 4th inning of that game. we'll probably find out in the coming days whenever they play again and see if he comes into the rotation or whatnot, or if he gets a little bit of extra time off. So still status unknown on Evan Elliott, but the Kitchener Panthers getting it done, not only as a team, but how about them at the All-Star Showdown? I mean,
Well, they
Junior
got it done.
Ibarra getting the
Those guys.
MVP, like.
Yeah. It was just great to see him come out there and have a great game, and get some. It's well-deserved recognition last night, just as far as that goes, because it was like when we actually did have to vote for it in the 8th inning, it was like a couple of text messages, like, okay, it's either this guy or this guy, and it was like, oh, let's go with this guy.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was a no-brainer, and I shot it to you afterwards,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was just like, yeah, okay.
And one thing to note from that
it was
too,
great to see.
One thing to note from that too is, his teammate Jordan Mandalay ended up driving in the winning run. It turned out to be the winning run in the 7th inning. Yosuke Fuji is part of the home run derby too, but Kitchener Panthers pretty lively this week.
Cashing in on 4 runs in the All-Star game. Not bad for a team that just awoken.
Yep.
We're gonna say it.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what Kitchener can do down the stretch. Again, some big W's this week. They are number 6 in the power rankings this week, clawing their way out of the power ranking basement. To number 5 we go, the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, snapping a 4-game losing skid on Saturday in Welland. Talk about a big late-game performance from the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. But I think they're still, they're still having some trouble leaving guys on base. They're still getting double digits in that category game per game. But, maybe Saturday is kind of the start of something for this team.
You gotta hope so. Because that was a pretty big win in Welland. Even though, just in the grand scheme, if you're Welland Jackfish, okay, it's just a loss. But you're a Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, you needed that win desperately. As desperately as Kitchener needed that win against you Friday night, Chatham-Kent Barnstormers came into the pond front on Saturday night, and you desperately needed a win. Just needed to go in the All-Star break on a high note. And as they hit the quote unquote second half, as they go through here, we got a week before the signing deadline. Be interesting to see what they can do, and they're in the same kind of situation. It's like, okay, we can bring somebody else in, but who's got to go home? So we'll talk on that a little bit later too. But yeah, it's just it's hard. It's hard to say when you're going to lose 2 guys in a couple of weeks anyways. You're going to lose Morrison. You're going to lose, I believe it's Haggith, as well as the other one, or is it Mackey? I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of those 2 guys.
Haggith for sure.
Yeah. So you're going to lose 2 guys. So okay, that's 2 parts of our lineup. They're doing really well. So it's just like, okay, yeah, you got to make some sort of concessions there too.
Yeah, like I had 2 of the guys from Chatham come in to the store on Friday, and they're feeling good even though they lost Thursday night. I think they're feeling good as a group. They understand the good, the bad, the ugly of what the season has kind of played out, and I think they're just looking forward to the future here because they understand the roster alignment of what's happening. They can kind of see what the schedule is in front of them, and they're like, okay, if we do this, we can do this result. Where do we need to win this game? It'll be a tough one, but the game after that, we really need to get a win, so we're going to do something in the next game. So it was kind of interesting to hear them kind of have a conversation about it, I guess. And it made sense to me, like, win the games that you can win. Because at the end of the day, as we all know, like, if you get on that little losing skid there, like, it's hard to stop it. So
exactly, especially at this time of year where that rock gets a lot heavier going downhill than it goes uphill.
Exactly. So it's like, win the games you can win, because like that at the end of the day, like, I'll take a win over 4 losses in a row. So
well, that is the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers at number 5 this week. To the London Majors we go at 4 in the power rankings, splitting a 2-game set with the Hamilton Cardinals, including a big 5-4 victory on home turf, on home field at Labatt Memorial Park. 10th inning. How about Adrian Harrison coming up big for them? But sorry, no, that was Josh Niles, I believe, that came up big for him.
That was Josh Niles. Josh Niles did it in his old teammates. That was kind of interesting, and it was great for Josh. It was great for Josh as far as that stuff goes. But yeah, it was just Hamilton made a lot of defensive miscues in that game, and it was, you know, when you're on such a high of a winning streak and everything else. Of course, you had won 6 in a row to that point, so you kind of just okay, it was bound to happen. But at the same time, there's things that there were some mistakes, there were some errors, some miscommunications that, you know, guys getting yips on corners and things. It's just like, guys, we're at this point of the season where this stuff should not happen. This stuff cannot happen. But if it happens, guys, you have to be professional enough to go get the next one.
Yeah.
Go get the next one.
And it was shocking. It was shocking for me to watch what was transpiring in the later innings there, because I'm like,
yeah,
usually he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it was just, I was just like, okay, like I get it. We're all having bad games and everything, but it's just like, come on, like.
Yeah, I didn't
like if
know
I didn't have a microphone in my face at that time, I probably would have gone downstairs and raised proper cane. But you know, that's just me.
Yeah, no, like London, like you did what you could do in Hamilton. Yeah, you lost, but it was good. It was a good fight. And then you have a very emotional, I guess, per se game on the Friday night with Owen making his return, and you know what, like he threw well. Like
he did.
Like he threw well. You can't really knock the guy at all.
He left the ball game with the lead, so you know it's not like he wasn't in a position to win that one. And it's just unfortunately.
So it's like that's baseball.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, again, it's kind of a testament to this team, right? And that we always allude to. It's like they always somehow win a game very late, and it's like it's never an easy game for them. And it's like, okay, how many times are they going to be able to do this and pull it off, right?
Yeah.
Again, we've alluded to another team that's had a lot of one-run ball games.
Against them.
What could be different here? So
yeah, and you know, and it was, the funny thing was in those 2 games we did not have to see SKYLAR JANISSE, like at either point, because obviously Thursday night it was okay. It was already foregone conclusion by that time, but yeah, it wasn't SKYLAR's time. But and then, you know, when they tied it up, I figured, okay, maybe they're gonna put SKYLAR out here just because they need somebody to just be that stopgap, and it didn't happen there. So you know, Arias went out there and did his job, and it was just like, okay, yeah, it's not the role everybody's expecting him to be right now, but he's the guy that's got the baseball at this point, and he went out and did what he could do.
Yeah, and you know what, I was happy with Jose's effort there. You know what, he's kind of getting thrown into a spot where he's not familiar, and you know what, hey, he's making the best of it, so you can't really knock the guy. He's pretty much said, hey, here's the ball, try to hit it now. And again, obviously, like I've seen a lot of video here with him and just being teammates with him for over the years. Like his fastball looked like it was ticking up, especially at home there. Like it looked more firm than what I've seen the whole year so far. So it was kind of cool to see.
If you go to 2 Sundays ago, his appearance in Hamilton compared to the appearance Friday night, it was a different approach as far as what everything else goes. Yeah, I get it. The Sunday game, it was beastly hot. Heck, I didn't want to call that game from upstairs. it's just like I have a fan on me and I'm just like, I'm staying hydrated. But poor guy is out there. It's 40 degrees Celsius, and I'm like, I don't know what he's doing out there, but still, it's just like I don't know how he's toughing this one out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it looked like he was having fun out there. Like it was like, okay, here's the ball, try to hit it, try to beat me.
Yeah.
And you want, again, I'm accustomed to seeing Jose like that from playing with him for the last couple of years, and it was really cool to see that, especially at that little small glimpse, right, where we really haven't seen that side of Jose this year, and it was a cool flashback for me, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the London Majors coming in at number 4 this week. To number 3 we go, the team that they played twice last week, the Hamilton Cardinals. They also had some extra action on Saturday, a 15-3 drubbing of the Toronto Maple Leafs. What did you guys make of the Hamilton Cardinals this week?
You know, it was great to see them get on that streak, and you know, I liked, you know, how they were able to bounce back against Toronto. Yeah, it's the last game before the All-Star break, and it was a tight ball game going into the 5th inning. It wasn't a blowout till later, but you know, it was just like they had Bearbaum on the hill. He did it. He was doing what he could. He kept that team in there, kept the Leafs in it for as long as he could. But then eventually, you know, the Leafs And it's just as far as the Cardinals and everything else, they woke the bats up when they needed to. They got some runs across. They found ways to get runs. They made some great catches out there. Dominguez was yet another highlight reel catch in Saturday night's ball game, just because that guy is he's on a different planet right now. It's great to watch.
Yeah, and for me, it was like, I think I almost became a fan again of baseball, watching Hamilton Thursday night, Friday night, all because of one guy, like Fernando Rodney. Like, he came into the game Thursday, and like, I felt like I was like 12, like just 12 years old again.
I almost lost my voice in that last call. I'll admit that.
Such a cool experience. Like for me, I was like, okay, yeah, I played for this team for 10 years. Now I get to watch a guy who I've literally watched on TV my whole life, trying to emulate his pitches. And he was throwing that changeup, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what is happening right now? It is the coolest thing, because like he was dissecting players. And then even on the Friday night, he took the loss, but the bases were loaded, and then all of a sudden, like Neil, Mark, you've been around the game, right? You know when a guy is like, okay, it's time, like flip the switch. You could see that with Fernando. He's like, okay, I got to go into that dog mentality. And then it was just like strikeout. And he had Niles, I think it was a 2-2 count.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
count, and I'm sitting there going, we're going to get out of this. Like in the back of my head, I'm going, we're somehow getting out of this. We're going to 11. And then Josh Niles, hey, hats off to you, man. You hit a pitch that you probably have no business hitting. No, you have no business hitting, but you did.
And he barreled it. Like, it was incredible. But I was just like, there's no way Fernando's going to absolutely strike out 3 in a row to get out of this base load jam. This is incredible. So like, I felt like a kid again. It was cool to watch. Even if I was playing, I'd still be on a top step watching that transpire. Like, it is what it is. I'm a fan of baseball.
Exactly.
For sure. Well, that special shout out to Yolki Pena with a grand salami in that game against the Maple Leafs as part of a 9-run inning.
Second grand slam of this season, His second grand slam of this season. I got corrected by the Hamilton media card after that. Was like, sorry guys, I've just following Thomas's lead here, so I'm typing away. I'm hearing Thomas doing the call, and it's like, oh, he thinks it's his first grand slam, so I wrote it down as first. It's actually second. Sorry, Yolki.
Follows the Hamilton Cardinals, number 3 in the power rankings this week. To number 2 on the list, they've been at number 1 for a little bit now, but they have dropped down. The Welland Jackfish, and I think their main story this week is just the woes at home. And, we've talked about this all season long, and a number of teams just, struggling at home, but Welland dropping 2 straight at home against, Kitchener and Chatham-Kent. What's going on with these guys at home in particular?
Well, I think it's just, we've clinched a playoff spot. We're sitting pretty here, and we're kind of going through the motions right now. Like, I'm not saying they're not taking it seriously, because they're taking it seriously. We know they're taking it seriously. The Sarge will have those guys taking it seriously from here to the cows come home. And when, I don't know when that's going to be. I'm expecting late September, but it's okay. As far as that stuff goes. But yes. And it's just, they're going through they're going through things, and guys are, look, some guys are just making some mistakes with some pitches, and they're getting pitches up, and things are going out of ballparks that shouldn't be going out of ballparks, and you're getting moonshots hit that are like tape measure shots on a Saturday night. But it's just every team goes through it, and it's just it's not something you have to be down about yourselves or anything else. But you had Kitchener and you had Chatham-Kent. Teams did it desperately. Both needed the wins, and they just took it to you on back-to-back nights at home. So something's got to be said about that, but at the same time, you look at their away record, and it's just like they're 13-2 away. So what's going on at home? What's not working at home here? Like, is the home cooking not good anymore? Like, if they have to eat on the road, they have to have takeout. What is it, guys? Like,
are they having too much fun at home?
Man, I don't know. Like, I just don't know what it is, but it's just something's not right there. Something's not with the vibe or something. It's just not going right there as far as that stuff goes, and they're gonna figure it out. But it's just. This was their problem last year in the postseason too. They won 1 game at home, where they won everything else on the road. So it's just not unheard of. Like, this used to be the place teams would look at and go, you look at the schedule and go, oh man, we got to go Welland. Oh, please no, please no. Now it's like, hey, the odds might be in our favor right now.
Yeah,
So you never know. Yeah, let's go to Welland.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, maybe it's like the post game spread. Maybe it's better on the road. The guys are gonna play better.
Who knows?
I don't know.
I know they get barbecue some places, so it's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Who knows? Oh. Crazy.
It's nuts. But I mean, they're still, 22-8 on the season, a plus 133 run differential.
Yeah.
Although I think most of that is from earlier on in the season. I feel like games, especially in the last month, have been a little bit closer for them, but you still get the odd, 15 run blowout kind of game from them at the same time too. But feels like as the season has gone along that they've, started to teams have started to figure out what makes Welland tick, and what's kind of the secret sauce that that allows you to maybe turn some close losses into some wins against them.
Yeah, and it's just it's little things. It's not one guy, but I think it's each guy has a little flaw right now, and I think that's the flaw they each need to work on right now. Like I'm looking at some of the starting rotation and just like, okay, he's giving up solo blasts. But it's just like, yeah, and you just tell it by his body language. He's not happy when he gives up these solo blasts too. But if a team can pick up on this stuff, you're going to chase him out of the ballgame. No disrespect, Big Ben. No disrespect at all, because I think you're one of the best pitchers in this league. But at the same time, it's just like, hey, if I'm picking up your body language from the broadcast booth, I can only imagine what the guys sitting a lot closer than I am are picking up here. So it's just, hey, I get it. It's a long season. You're going through some things, so you just clean it up a little bit. I know you're going to be back out there, and you're going to get back to the 10 strikeouts and a lot less long balls for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that is the Welland Jackfish this week. They're at number 2 on the power rankings. To number 1 we go. The Barrie Baycats, winners of 6 straight ball games. The defending champions. We continue on as we have a guest appearance, folks.
We have a guest appearance. Winnie has decided to pop in. That's one of the 2 dogs, because she runs downstairs with her owner. But when he's hanging up here with Dad, like she just goes in the corner and just, okay, I don't know what's going on. She'll
put him more on screen. Bring him over, Neil.
Winnie, come here. Come here, Winnie. There you go. What's it? Oh, jeez. Come here. Come here, you.
There he is.
They want to see you. There she is.
Can't play shy.
Oh, yeah.
There's our official mascot for the IBL Inside Pitch right there.
Yep.
Because we got that dog in us.
Yeah, we got that dog in us. And that dog's like, okay, I don't want to be on camera. And now I'm gone.
Hiding immediately.
And I'm taking out Dad's headset while I'm at it.
I love that. Well, the Barrie Baycats, 19-10 on the season, as mentioned, a 6-game winning streak, but a lot of close games they've played in particular in the last few days. I mean, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they have to play a 3-3, 3-0 win against Guelph, a 6-5 win over Brantford, and then another 6-5 win this time against Kitchener, albeit the one in Kitchener was a 10-inning affair, a game that probably could have gone either way as well. That game against Brantford in particular wasn't close, and then it was.
Yeah. And that's Brantford doing what Brantford does best this year, and they will fight you tooth and nail for 9 innings. And some teams have kind of let it off the gas too long, and it's like, oh crap, Brantford's come back into this thing, and now can you flip the switch back again and try to put a couple more runs across? And sometimes you can't do that. But of course, then you look at Barrie, and it's just like, we knew this was going to happen. They're too good of a team to be in the bottom. So now it's like, yeah, we're back where they were last year. They're fighting hard for second place, and Welland might be too far out of reach here for first place. But hey, look what happened last year. They finished the second seed, and it's like, yeah, good. They sat pretty, and then they went on that 10-0 run in the playoffs. So. Yeah. I wouldn't want to play them in the first round. It's the same reason I don't want to play the Guelph Royals in the first round, because somebody's going home very disappointed after that first round.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's like when like Barrie was playing Brantford. Like I was watching that game, probably, I'll admit it. I turned it off because I was like, okay, this is it. This is done. And then I wake up in the morning and I see the final score, and I'm like, what? Like,
well, exactly.
Like
they had the tying run. They had the tying run. Takioda was at third base. Like they were a wild pitch away from tying this thing.
Yeah, it's like I had to go back and watch the broadcast, and I'm like, I just missed all the fun. Like, and that might have been that one actually might have been the first game I've kind of shut it down because I was like, all right, there's no way, like this game's out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Testament to the league, testament to Brantford. It is what it is. But you know what? They got the job done. So that's all you can ask for.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And, I think
not how, but how many?
No, exactly. No. And like you look at Barrie's record again, and Barrie's another key example, another team that's not playing that great at home. They're 9-5 at home. Yeah. And, they're 10-5 on the road. So again, it's just, what's wrong with the home cooking? Is there something wrong with mom's spaghetti here? Like, what's going on, guys? What's going on here? But it's just like, again, and another one of those teams, you go to these parks and just go, okay, we got to play Barrie. Somehow we're going to lose this one. Back in the good old days, it was Barrie. Well, in Toronto, you would not want to go to that park. London was probably top 4 places. You go into your mindset. You're going, okay, how are we going to? The odds are against us. Just we're going down. We're down 3-0 in our heads before we go in there. But it's just now it's like, hey, you can go on these road trips, and we got a good shot of winning this thing.
Yeah.
Just for various reasons.
Yeah, like I remember even like my first couple of years in the league. You know what? Like I was fortunate enough to play against Barrie my first year in the finals, and like it wasn't a very inviting atmosphere for a visiting team.
No.
Like you just knew in your like back of the brain, everyone can say, oh yeah, you gotta do your best, and you still gotta play the game. But back of your brain, you're like, man, like one overthrow, it's done. Like they're gonna cap
exactly. No, exactly. like the year I was the general manager when we were playing Brantford in the first round, we had a 2-0 lead in that series over them just because we somehow tuned that out.
Yeah.
And we had them. We were like 3 outs away from going up 3-0 in that series, and it was just like something. They woke up, and we had no business taking the Brantford Red Sox, that team, to where we went in 2013. We had no business. No business.
No.
Only the first 1 minute. I had Mike Bonanno sweating down the line here. But it was just
perfect.
It's like that's one of those moments that I'll always remember, because it was just like, hey, it's a great feeling to be in that driver's seat against a team that's such a powerhouse. Yeah. It's just like, we're not supposed to be here, guys. We're not supposed to be doing this. So anything we do after this is gravy. So it's just like, the shock and awe was fun.
Barrie Baycats are at number 1 in the IBL power rankings this week, sitting at 19-10 on the season. Everybody's got a busy week upcoming, both on and off the field, because transaction deadline week, folks. There's 1 week left before the books are closed on being able to sign guys and bring guys into the league, guys or girls, as we got to find out this season with Ayami Sato. But nonetheless, transaction deadline's coming up in a week. We'll have more on that on the other side of my interviews with some IBL All-Stars. And I put on my journalism hat a little bit because something actually came through on my other side of my work. Someone actually from my own work actually pointed this out to me and said, hey, there's something I just came across the wire involving the Intercounty Baseball League that you might be interested in. It involves the 2016 playoffs. It involves the Superior Court of Justice as well. I'll delve into the news side of that on the other side of these interviews, plus players and pitchers of the week, and what else is coming up in the Intercounty Baseball League this week. We'll have more on everything on the other side of these interviews. You are watching the IBL Inside Pitch, and for now, here's myself with Jakob Cantor and Jeremie VEILLEUX of the Brantford Red Sox.
So both of you guys play for the Brantford Red Sox. You just got here, first of all, so I'll start with you. I guess just how you enjoying Southern Ontario here so far?
Yeah, I've been enjoying it a bunch. The teammates are awesome. It's cool view, cool place to eat. Yeah, it's playing ball at a high level, so it's super cool. It's a good opportunity.
Did he give you any tips on where to go yet, or?
I'm still in the dark a little bit. Just got here. I've been shown some of the food spots. There's local food spots in Brantford. But yeah, I'm still going out and exploring. So.
All right, when are you gonna give him those tips?
Late night Lonnie's.
Okay.
That's a go-to. Right, you got some great poutine out there.
Now, I know the season hasn't gone exactly according to plan, just with the record, but the way I look at it too is that you guys have played in a lot of close games this season. I believe 8 one-run games amongst those losses. What feels different about this team this year than maybe in years past?
I would just say that this year at least we know more that since we're always so close that we know that we can win games. It's just about finding the way to finally win those games, right? So that takes time, but I still believe that our team is able to win games.
So I'm going to ask you both this question, but I'm going to ask it a little bit differently just because you're the newcomer. You are obviously a guy that's been around for the last few years. There feels like there's something different about the Intercounty Baseball League these days. What do you kind of make of? It seems like there's more exposure here lately. What do you kind of make of everything?
I think it's just I think it's multifaceted. I think the owners are a lot more invested in actually building the teams. You can just, we're in Hamilton right now. I'll use Eric as an example. Having played here and then just being on the other side and seeing the differences, I think a big part of his ownership really taking that next step forward. And I also think the high level of quality players in this league, and as well as players want to win baseballs, and iron sharpens iron, right? So if teams are playing better, the teams that are further behind, they're gonna raise their level to keep up with those teams, right? So it's just everything together is just being elevated.
For yourself, what have you kind of learned about the Intercounty Baseball League in such a short time?
Well, just being able to compete at this high level with a bunch of dogs, you're seeing pretty good arms all the time. I went to a little school in Pennsylvania, so the competition level is a lot different. And yeah, I mean it's been awesome just being a part of.
Philadelphia boy, right?
Yes, sir. Philly boy. Yes, sir.
All right, Eagles.
Hell yeah.
So I guess what's something that might not be as known about yourself that what's something that maybe somebody like a teammate may not know about you, or even somebody around the league?
I'm a pretty big boxing fan. So last night, before BP, I knew we had a bit of time, so I was watching the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world before the game, and I was actually more nervous for that than I was for our game, because I'm super invested in these fighters. I think all their stories are so great, and yeah, I'm just a big fan of boxing.
All right, for yourself, what's something that I guess what's your game style for the Brantford fans and the IBL fans? I guess what's special about what you bring to the table here?
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of try to see it as I'm a player that's going to be one of the toughest outs on the field. I'm trying to limit the strikeouts, trying to get more walks and strikeouts, trying to get on base for my team as much as possible. I'm a smaller little guy, so I just want to get on so the big dudes can hit me in. I'll steal bases, get myself in scoring position, and slap around singles and doubles if I can. And if I run into one, then I run into one, but that's not, my style is more, the singles and doubles kind of game.
All right.
Don't forget to mention your glove too. You've been here for 2 games. You've already made some nasty plays. So yeah, you're a very good defender too.
Yes, sir.
All right. I got a couple hypotheticals for you guys. Want to dig into it? All right. Actually, here, I'm going to let you pick one.
All right. No whammies.
Oh, what do we got?
I got a long one. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up, besides a pro baseball player?
Okay, maybe there's not as many hypotheticals in there. There are a few, though. But
okay, well, on the Mic'd Up, I actually did answer this question recently on Cassidy's Mic'd Up. To be a player for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm from Quebec, and I grew up watching that team. That team's my life. My idols growing up was Rocket Richard. I had a little picture book as a kid that I'd read every day about about his story, but also about his stick clack, which is like this stick brought to life that helped him that advised him through his life. And it's just like I love the Montreal Canadiens, so playing for them would have been a dream come true.
Do you get to read the hockey sweater too, or?
Of course.
Yeah, I hope you did.
That's a classic Canadian story too, right? And it's like I kind of related to that because I was the story is a Habs fan amongst Leafs fans, right? And I was it was a Leafs fan amongst Habs fans. And growing up in Toronto, I was a Habs fan amongst Leafs fans. I really related to that story growing up.
All right. Well, A, I'm a Leafs fan, but B, I grew up in Northern Ontario, so I grew up with a lot of Habs fans as well. Your turn.
Let's rock. We got. Can you play any instruments? No, I cannot. I'm not musical. I can't play anything. I've tried the guitar a little bit, but I can't string together. No pun intended. I can't string together any songs. So, yeah, no, I can't play any instruments.
All right. Actually, you know what? Can you play any instruments?
If singing in the shower counts, then I hear vocal. You have vocal cords, right? So I guess that's an instrument. But yeah, I don't play a physical instrument.
All right. I'm going to ask you the question that we asked him. You know, if you weren't a baseball player, what would you what did you want to be when you grew up besides a baseball player?
When I was younger, I wanted to open up my own restaurant and be a chef. And I was going to be the only chef.
All right. I'm coming for dinner.
And I mean, so yeah, I like grilling. I like, throwing it down a little bit. I like, chicken wings, steak, whatever it is. But yeah, I love being able to grill and bring the friends over. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to cut it off there, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Actually, first of all, how are you enjoying the festivities here today?
I think it's great, like having a day to celebrate the guys who have put in a lot of hard work, and also just being out here supporting our guys. Chris was in the home run derby, and I was there, like, getting real excited for him, right? So just having a day where you can also just speak to guys on other teams that you don't do as often. It's a great day, and fans showed out. It's a good crowd there too, so it's pretty fun.
Sounds good. What do you make of all the festivities here today?
It's been awesome. Also, getting the opportunity to talk to guys, got a bunch of guys from the Dominican Republic and different parts of Canada. Being somebody from another part of the U.S. It's been cool just meeting all the guys here.
All right. Well, thanks guys, and all the best.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Cool. All right, and Dan, you've been around these parts for a long time, so I have to ask the big question. What's it like to be amongst all this commotion with an all-star game? And it just feels like there's something different in the air with the Intercounty Baseball League these days.
100%. It's a lot of fun. This is the first one I've been involved with, and honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I've watched like the streams of them in years past, but there's a lot of fun. And you know what? You got a ton of good ball players here. Fans came out. Hamilton did a great job. Everything seems very organized. They even had a band out here. So ton of fun. Love the energy, and I'm excited to play.
What was it like throwing a Johnny there?
Memory lane is what it was like. Yeah, I was, I guess, not surprised he asked me. I spent the better part of a decade throwing Johnny BP. He likes the way I throw. I know where he, I know his swing and where he likes to hit him. So that was a lot of fun.
Did he tell you just fastball right over the middle, that kind of thing?
Yeah, we talked a little bit before and actually had a few practice rounds because, pre-game is a little different. We work a little bit outside, slowly move it in, stuff like that. This was a little different because it's obviously timed. So we went, we had to strategize a little bit about kind of the sweet spot, and, up and in was where it was working. So, I thought he did well. We ran out of gas there midway through that second round, but it is a lot of swings, so it was good.
What's the thing that you kind of do to kind of unwind away from baseball?
I don't have a lot of time outside of baseball. I work a lot. I'm a shift worker, so
where do you work actually?
I'm a paramedic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I'm not working, I'm playing. Otherwise, I golf when I can, try and get out with the boys when I can, video games when I can. But to be honest, like, summer is really busy. It's not necessarily a lot of games in an IBL season, 42 games, but when you factor in that a lot of these guys are working full-time hours and, and there's a lot of driving involved, it's not like we're flying somewhere and playing a series. Not a ton of free time in the summer, to be honest. So, yeah, just a couple of those things to unwind.
35 going on 36, I believe.
That's right.
All right. I guess what's the what is it for you? What does it mean to you to be able to play this long, especially with your two brothers on the team?
Yeah, it means a lot. Obviously, and I've told some of the guys before, I haven't said it, like I don't know when my last game will be, but obviously I'm coming up towards the end just because it's, it's a competitive league and it's hard to play. But I'm so grateful for this league that to be competitive enough to allow us to play at a high level, and the accessibility for me and my brothers to play together for a decade now. It's been incredible, and I'd be lying if I said it if I didn't mention it was a little bit of a grind on the body, for sure. But it's worth it, man. I have a great time, and being able to play with your brother. How many people get to do that? For a decade. It's a ton of fun.
What's been your secret just to be around this long?
Good question. Honestly, I try and take care of my body best I can. I kind of have an approach of like not getting too high or too low, and I feel like that is the most sustainable way of playing any sport, but baseball particularly because it's a game of failure. Not getting too high or too low just allows you to have fun every time you come out, whether you're having success or not. And that's how I try and approach it. I try and approach it as something I'm doing to have fun. As good as this league is getting, these aren't we're not professionals, right? We have lives outside of this. So I try and treat it that way, and I try and have a healthy degree of respect for the competition, and also being out here to have a good time. And that's allowed me, I think, to continue to play.
Minus throwing in the derby, what's kind of been your favorite part of the day today?
Today, I would say just being around the guys. Like a lot of the guys you just don't see off the field, and so getting to meet a lot of the guys that you only see in uniform now off the field just adds a personality to behind the jersey, and I think that's a lot of fun because it just adds character to the league. And we have a league of a lot of character. We got players from different countries, we got players from different parts of Ontario, and that's been, I think, the highlight of today is just seeing all the guys outside, off the field, and then getting out there, and getting to play a game. And
you get to learn from so many different backgrounds around here. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I've said, just to add on that, I've long said we're so lucky in the GTA to have a league like this. It's so unique where it borders on this really competitive league, but at the same time, it's not professional. You can work. You don't have to sacrifice other parts of your life, and you get to come out here. And some of these guys have played in the big leagues, and other guys have played all over the world. And so, we're so lucky to have been able to do that.
Oh, you get to rub out elbows with Fernando Rodney today.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
I think he's a World Series ring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a World Series ring champion, in the dugout with me today, and you're just not going to have that opportunity, anywhere else. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Want to answer a couple hypotheticals?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to draw one, and this is going to be completely at random. All right. Would you rather win the lottery but have to spend it in one day, or triple your current salary forever?
Oh man, gotta be triple my current salary and forever. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more for you. Would you rather know the answer to every trivia question or know the lyric to every song?
That's a good one. I'm gonna say trivia question. I like a good piece of trivia knowledge. Good conversation starter. So I'm gonna go with trivia.
All right. Sounds good, man. Well, appreciate your time and all the best tonight.
Awesome. Thank you.
Right. I got SKYLAR JANISSE with me. How's it going, man?
Great to see you, brother. Good. I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
What do you make of today here?
I mean, it's beautiful. I like the setup. I mean, the home run derby was phenomenal, so it's great to be here. I got my family down the line, so it's lovely that everyone came out, so I love it.
What's the season been like for you? I know you've been rocking as a closer there for London.
Yeah. So I mean, the season's been great. I mean, I've been doing very well. I got to come to the All-Star game, which is awesome. I've been in the league for a couple of years, so it's nice to finally get here. And I mean, the boys have been playing great. I got lots of opportunities to get a close in and a couple wins. So yeah, the season's going phenomenal. Yeah.
Cool. And I mean, obviously with today and just being around your teammates, being around everybody in the league here, you've been around this league for a little while now. So I've asked a couple of other people this. Feels like there's something different in the air in the Inter-County Baseball League. I guess, what do you kind of make of where we are now here in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree with what you're saying. Like, things are definitely different in the sense that the talent's getting so much better, you know? So I feel even just the 3 years that I've been here, I mean, each year to year you see better pitching, better hitters, you know? The competition's better. Like, when you look in the standings, right? Everyone, you know, Welland's got a little bit of the lead, but everyone's within a game or two, you know? So, but, I mean, I love playing in this league. I kind of wish I did it a few years earlier, but, you know, it's good to be here, you know?
Yeah. How do you kind of keep up with everything that's kind of been upgraded over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, you know what's cool is that it kind of falls into what I've been doing before into pro ball. Like, this league is so professional, I find, compared to a lot of leagues, you know, Frontier, America, like wherever you look. I mean, London and Welland get more fans than 90% of ballparks I've seen, at least in the minor leagues, you know. So it's cool, man. Like, they're doing a great job. Like, all the teams, like, you can see that they're really putting in effort, you know.
And it adds fuel even when you head to the mound as well, when you hear that roar, right?
Yeah, absolutely, which is awesome. I mean, there's nothing better, obviously, than, you know, getting the crowd going, right? So,
yeah. I want to take you back. I mean, obviously, you're a guy that's been around pro ball as well.
Yes, yeah.
I guess what's kind of that transition like when you're, you know, moving up to that level of ball and just trying to, you know, kind of get your feet wet and looking to make kind of a living with this?
Fair, yeah. Like, for me, I found the biggest, I guess, transition was like learning to be on your own, you know, learning to take care of yourself, I found that was the hardest thing to do because when you're young, right, you're used to mom and dad, right? And then the other thing too is that understanding, like, say you come from college or even high school, like when you get to that next level, you might have been batting third in high school, but now you're batting 8.
Yeah.
Or you might be the starter in high school, but now you're in the bowl, you know, and then it's just, it's funny to see that every guy has a different story, which is so cool about it. But for me, it was mostly just learning how to live like almost as an adult, you know, like learning how to kind of take care of that stuff. So
Cool.
yeah.
What's it been like kind of making an adjustment? Because I know you were a starter at one point, right?
I was.
What was that transition like, not only with the training, but everything else that kind of goes along with, you know, instead of here's, you know, 6-7 innings,
right.
Okay, now you're being counted on to come in the ninth in a, you know, in a tough situation.
Of course, yeah. So when I was young, I started, but then I got into Team Canada when I was super young. I want to say like 16. And I ended up starting to close towards the end of that year that I was on Team Canada. And then when I went off to pro ball, that's all I did. I got a couple of spot starts here and there. But for the most part, I mean, I came out of the bullpen. I think I got like 6 starts in like 12 years. So, yeah, so I've been in the bullpen my whole career, basically. So, right. And it feeds to it, you know, so, which is good.
What's something that maybe not a lot of people know about you?
Interesting. I don't think a lot of people know I'm a scratch golfer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm about a 3 handicap. So I shoot about 3 over par. That's why. I think my thing that not too many people might know. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Now, co-host on the show is obviously Braden Farrington, your former teammate.
I love Mr. Farrington.
What's something that maybe we don't know about him? Something that you may have learned about him.
Braden Farrington is a candy, I won't say it, but he loves sugar. Okay. That's going to be something that maybe no one said, but that guy loves his candy. He would always hook the bullpen up every time. Right. He had 6 bags of candy, so Farrington fed the bullpen all the sweets, you know, so I think that'd be the one thing.
Of all the candies, what am I getting to him for a Christmas gift?
I would say Sour Patch Kids. That's his go-to, for sure, 100%. Farrington, you hear me? Sour Patch, I got you.
It's in the mail, son. It's coming. Want to answer a couple hypotheticals?
Let's do it, brother. Let's do it.
All right. So in this bag, I think I have a couple of hypotheticals. Some of them are just basic questions, but
you never know.
I'm going to let you pick.
All right. Let's get in here.
Let's do it.
All right. Here's the first one.
All right. Okay. Would you rather be always stuck in traffic but always find parking, or never hit traffic but it always takes forever to park?
Wow, that's a great one. I think I would do traffic but be able to park.
Okay.
So I feel like if you can't find parking, there is actually nothing more frustrating than going through traffic and then not finding parking. You know? Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely go traffic but find parking.
All right.
For sure.
I just grabbed this one at random.
Okay.
Telekinesis or telepathy. So moving things with your mind or the ability to read minds.
Ooh. It would definitely have to be read minds, because at least, you know, if you you can like become like a superhero or something with that. I mean, with both, but I feel like, hey, what's up, Gustav? What's up, man? But yeah, I would have to go with mind reading for sure.
All right, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Is there something you hate but pretend to love?
Something I hate that I pretend to love. Yeah, so I have a 4-year-old son.
Okay.
And I used to hate/love changing diapers.
Okay.
So you gotta love to do it, but you hate to do it.
That makes sense. What's it like? I think I saw him here earlier today.
Yeah,
right?
he's here. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What's the experience bringing him here to the All-Star?
So what's actually really cool? So my dad was a big baseball player when I was growing up. Not quite the level I got to make it. So it's cool to be able to bring my son on the field and hoping. I want him to be a baseball player, but he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But it's nice to get him to see it, and he's 4 years old, so he'll remember, a little bit. So it's honestly amazing to bring him out here and show him what dad does, So yeah, which is good.
That's fantastic, man.
Yeah,
any other parting words for those that are tuning in here today?
Just want to tell Mr. Farrington, love you, brother. Hope to see you soon. And thank you, man. I love this. This was awesome.
Appreciate it, man. SKYLAR Janisse of the London Majors.
Absolutely.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed all of those interviews and got to know a little bit more on some of your IBL All-Stars, and maybe some of those hypothetical questions weren't so hypothetical, but nonetheless, we had a great time there at the IBL All-Star Showdown in Hamilton. Let's delve into some of the news and notes and what's to come here in the Intercounty Baseball League. I'm just going to take it from here, guys. Get your popcorn out, get your coffee ready. The recent lawsuit that has come down from the Superior Court of Justice in Ontario involves the Brantford Red Sox and the Intercounty Baseball League, and this is something that dates back to 2016, and the whole thing is around a loss of funds. So keep in mind that there isn't really any profit sharing per se. If you're looking to make money as an Intercounty Baseball League team, you're making it on your own. Whether it's concessions or your ticket sales or basically anything and everything that you can probably imagine, that's how these teams are making that money kind of thing. So the lawsuit stems from the 2016 playoffs, and it's the Brantford Red Sox, the former owner Lee Delfino, that actually raised this. It all comes down to a series with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Mike Wagner was a player in the league at that point in time. There was a bit of a protest held during their first round series. He played in 3 games, but in the midst of those 3 games, he also played in kind of a weekend tournament. It was I believe it's the Mooney League, that's MUNY or something, that was out in the Buffalo area. And they were kind of raising the stink that this guy, despite playing for 3 games, shouldn't have even been eligible. Well, what ended up going down was the player was deemed eligible, and the courts actually also kind of decided too, well, as they looked into this Mooney League, it's kind of a weekend league, if you will, they didn't actually register a player. They kind of almost alluded to it as, well, if you can't have this player in this league registered, and they kind of even compared it to, okay, well, now you have to drop a player from your Intercounty Baseball League team so he can go play in a father-son game on the weekend, kind of thing. That's kind of what I read here, just how it kind of went down. In the end, the way they wanted to try to get out of this was, it wasn't necessarily results oriented, because again, this is a 2016 playoff year. It was the loss of funds because Brantford didn't make it into those next couple of rounds. If you remember, Toronto did advance to the final that year. The total loss that they were putting in here as part of the suit was just north of $74,000. In the end, the courts ended up decided that the parties involved are strongly urged to resolve the issue of costs. Accordingly, the claim from the plaintiff, being the Brantford Red Sox and the former owner Lee Delfino in this case, not the Brantford Red Sox of today was involved in this. It was the Brantford Red Sox of yesteryear, if you will, with Lee Delfino as the head of that. So the claim from them was dismissed. And 2, if the parties are unable to issue or resolve the issue of costs, this is the wording from the Superior Court of Justice. The party seeking costs shall serve and file written cost submissions not exceeding 5 double-spaced pages in length, in addition to a bill of costs and any relevant offers to settle by August 7th of this year, and the party responding to a request for costs shall serve and file written responding cost submissions and not exceeding 5 double-spaced pages in length, in addition to a bill of costs and any relevant offers to settle by August 28th, 2025. Thank you all for still tuning in after I went through a lot of the legal mumbo jumbo there. But again, a lawsuit that stems from 2016, just making it through the courts now in 2025, which is kind of a head scratcher. But for someone like me that has covered courts quite a bit in my day job, not as surprising because there have been some cases, including criminal cases, that very much take a couple of years before they go to trial because there's a lot of things on the back end that get involved in this kind of stuff. But again, that was a note that came through from the Superior Court of Justice. It involved the Intercounty Baseball League. It's a public document, so I figure in my journalistic opinion, I did at least need to make a note of it. The IBL not going to respond at this time. I believe that's kind of the wording from that. Neil, correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But just throwing that out there as some news and notes for you guys in the Intercounty Baseball League this week. We are going to move on from that. Let's go into transaction deadline central coming up. No, we're not doing a full-time special next week.
We're not doing this 12
It's not
hour.
happening.
No. Not happening.
But
we're actually going to tape Tuesday next week.
Yes.
Because we don't want to be stressing ourselves out on Monday because strange things have happened in the past. And there's no George Shaleems this year, but somebody just might parachute a whole team in here somewhere. So just be warned. It has happened before.
Yeah. So we'll have the episode drop next week. It's going to be on Wednesday next week. Just to make sure we have all the transaction deadline stuff covered. But just on the transaction deadline, I want to go through some of these teams. Maybe we won't go through all of the teams, but in general, maybe what are some of the pieces that maybe some of these teams are really, really kind of itching for?
I'm just going to go from the standings downwards. Welland, I don't think they're going to do much. Barrie might do something, but again, it's just what can you do without? It's going to be addition without subtraction, or it's going to have to take some subtraction in a lot of these teams' cases. London, I think you're at the max as far as the roster goes right now, but they definitely need a couple arms. They need a couple arms, and they might need another bat just to take some load off of somebody somewhere in the order here too, just to give some guys some rest. CHATHAM-KENT, again, it's the same sort of situation. They know they're going to lose 2 guys, but they're full on imports, and there's not a lot of Canadian kids out there right now that are available because the draft's over. A lot of guys are playing the whip bell right now, and just everything. Now I'm using that term. I've been hanging around Brandon Lee for too long as far as that stuff with the WCBL, so I'm not going to get that term quite messed up here. But yes, so the leagues that are going to pull guys from and everything else are just not available right now. And if they're playing in OBAs or playing in men's leagues or something somewhere else, they're probably committed to teams that are contending for national spots very soon too. So they're not going to be jumping ship to come to the intercounty as far as this stuff goes. So it's going to be what rock can you find somebody underneath here from these guys. And Hamilton's probably in the same boat. I don't anticipate them doing a lot. I'd love to see them get another starting pitcher just to solidify that thing. But again, who comes off the roster to do that? Just who does it? Like who do this stuff? Toronto, we know they're hurting as far as injuries and everything else, and it's just they've added some people in the last couple of days too, so they're going to see some things. Guelph, we know there's a lot of stuff coming on the forefront. Kitchener, yeah, it's just again, what can you do with this thing? Can you let one of the imports go to bring something else in here that's going to help your dynamic or everything else, or it's just and then of course then you got Brantford, and it's just they're continuing to retool this as they go along, because again they were behind the 8 ball becoming the season. They only literally had 60 days to hit the ground running. So what they do now is just they've been playing catch up all year.
When I look at the official rosters here, so I'll go through it because it is a 28-man roster, plus juniors, obviously. So as we stand here right now, Barrie, they have 23 guys. So they still
Yeah.
have a few spots they can fill. Brantford is full at 28, so that's got to be an addition by subtraction.
Yep.
CHATHAM-KENT, they're at 24, so they have 4 open spots. Guelph,
Yep.
they have 1 open spot, but they have all of their imports filled up, and we already discussed kind of the juggling act that they have to go through when it comes to that. Hamilton is full. Kitchener is actually very much open wide. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 5 open spots, and to be honest, I don't think they're getting rid of any of their imports at this point in time. But 5 open spaces that they can fill with domestic players. So Kitchener could be active just to fill out those roster spots. London is full, Toronto is full, Welland is full. So again, with those 3 teams, again, addition by subtraction.
Yeah, and I just don't know. Like, I think Kitchener is going to be. I don't think the Kitchener junior team or 22U team qualify for nationals. So you might get some of those guys, finally coming up and say, okay, yeah, I'm available now because we're just playing for the intercounty playoffs now. So that's it. As far as that thing, their season's done pretty much. So it's like, okay. And sometimes usually after teams go to these national runs, they pretty much opt out of the intercounty playoffs anyways because it's like, A, we've either gone through and we're qualified for nationals. We don't want to risk an injury, or B, the nationals took a toll on us. We want out now because we're going to lose guys anyways in 2 weeks anyways. So let them go do their own thing, enjoy the last couple of weeks of summer, get their houses in order before they go back to school in the States.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't anticipate a lot of big moves this week. I just don't see things turning out this way. I don't think we're going to have any big wholesale changes anywhere. Like you might see a couple of things here. You might see a trade between a couple of teams, but not hearing much. I've been asking around just because I'm curious to see, hey, what's out there. But again, it's just like I don't think there's much out there.
No,
I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be quiet, but I think you'll see some movements. Like you might see some guys that are on the fringe as far as, okay, can this guy help me down the postseason way, or can I cut him loose and see what else is available out there? But if you got, some guys have some good leads on somebody, they might have somebody they can bring at the last minute here before Monday night.
Yeah. I've heard a small rumbling in Chatham with a certain veteran player returning to the IBL. I'm curious if that actually comes true because it'd be cool to see him play again, but I don't know what's left in the tank.
Yeah.
So I've heard rumbling.
Just for the record, it's not you, right?
It's not me. I don't think that.
It's not Harry, right?
Yeah, we never.
No. I tried to ask him if he's going to pitch for Fanshot. He didn't answer that either. So
He did get it. He did get a couple innings for Fanshot. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did get a couple innings. Yeah, he got a couple innings.
But this player does have an IBL championship, so I'm curious to see, what happens there because obviously where there's smoke, there's fire. From a certain 2 players that came into the store last Friday that this might happen. So I was kind of intrigued by it because I haven't talked to said player in a couple of weeks, and he did mention it, but then there was nothing after that. So I'm curious if this actually happened.
It might have just been a feeler. Hey, are you available? Would you consider it, kind of thing? But nothing really comes of it. And then of course we have something else that it was something involving a golfer, and we'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
This guy has thrown some bullpens, so I'm kind of curious what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, transaction deadline coming up. It's 11:59 p.m. on Monday next week. Neil, is there anything kind of on the other side of that transaction deadline? Say if a guy doesn't sign.
So what happens?
Like, how does that kind of all work?
So if you get released in that time period, you have till Wednesday morning, I believe, or Wednesday at midnight to sign with a new club, provided the club had an open roster spot. So you can't, Guelph can't suddenly, cut somebody because there's somebody else available after that spot time and everything else. They have to have an open roster spot. I know the year I was a general manager, we had a roster spot available. We were looking for a catcher desperately, just didn't find one. And I was just like, well, it didn't pan out. So we had a roster spot that was open. But yeah, it was just, okay. But yes, we were looking for another catcher just to take some load off because back then Justin and Terracena were their catcher. So it was just like, hey, we got to get in case Juice goes down or something. We needed somebody else.
Cool. So that's how it all plays out. Again, we'll have our next episode drop coming up on Wednesday of next week, with everything transaction deadline related and everything that has happened in the past week in the Intercounty Baseball League. But we will have one other episode drop this week. Keep in mind, with Chris Lazar of the Guelph Royals coming on to the show with a great conversation with him. Well, as we head into what is coming up this week, guys, well, first of all, Neil, we got some awards to give out.
We
Pitcher and
got some
player of the
awards to give
week.
out, and it was a shorter week as far as that stuff goes because, of course, we didn't play Sundays. So, but there were still some great performances, and literally we had a debate before the last player got picked in here, and it was just like, okay, yeah, we had to go to a third party. Heck, even somebody looked up the chat PGP for as far as the suggestions as far as this thing goes. So, yes, without further ado, of course, congratulations to the pitcher of the week, Mr. Brandon Deans of the Guelph Royals. And Mark, you alluded to it a bit earlier on and everything else. 7 innings pitched in a game the Guelph Royals absolutely needed somebody to be shut down, and Mr. Deans did exactly that. 7 innings pitched, allowed 2 hits, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts in his 7 innings of work. So you got the job done. It's a good job to Mr. Deans.
It was all gas, but no break.
That's a great way to put it. Of course, on the player side, of course, you have to go with our dear friend from the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, Mr. Spencer Marcus, a 545 average, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and it was very, very tight. It was like usually we get 5 or 6 broadcaster votes, and we had a 2-2 tie as far as the broadcaster votes this week as far as selections. So we had to go ask the third party, and well, thankfully the third party was able to help us figure that one out. But yes, Spencer Marcus with the big knock this week.
Well, congratulations to Spencer Marcus and Brandon Deans on winning Player and Pitcher of the Week in the Intercounty Baseball League. Well, taking a look at what's upcoming this week, I mean, packed schedule as every team kind of gets the ball rolling. It's a bunch of games very early on in the week as well as. No rest for the wicked from the All-Star Showdown. 2 games tonight, in fact. The Barrie Baycats are in Guelph to take on the Royals, and the London Majors are in Chatham-Kent to take on the Barnstormers, so you can tune in on the Guelph Royals and the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers YouTube pages for all of those. And I got to point this out as well to you guys, just to make sure you kind of know where to go to watch these games. It's not just going to the YouTube pages individually, signing up, hit like and subscribe for all of them, although you should. You really should.
You should.
But
Definitely should.
On the main page, on the Intercounty Baseball League page, there is something in the top right hand corner, I believe, where there is actually a link that brings you to all the league channels, as well as a page that also has the streams on them as well.
Yep, as of today's games, as far as that goes, I do my best to update these things. Sometimes teams are a little late as far as updating their links and not putting the YouTube lives on it. So if I missed it, my apologies, guys and gals. It's not my fault some nights. It's just literally I'll take 5 minutes in the morning. Okay, if the links are here, I'll post them up. I'll try to circle back again some evenings, but again, it's just some nights it's just like, you know what? I got 5 things on the go as it is, so it's just like if I don't get back to the time to circle the wagons, hey, it's not my fault. At least you know how to get to those pages and everything else. So never hurts to go through there and do that stuff. And it goes, the onus is on the teams. We can't force them to do this stuff. It's not part of the league mandates to do this stuff. It's just more of a courtesy for them to have the links up in advance so you guys can get up there. But most times teams usually have them up the day before, or in some cases a week and a half of them go. Of course, like Guelph and everything else have been great as far as that stuff goes. Shout out to London, shout out to Welland, those guys always doing it in advance. So when I catch up to it in the morning, when I have 5 minutes while I'm sipping my Tim Hortons coffee, or maybe an espresso sometimes down the line. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yep. Yeah. Right. This is just we try not to miss them. We try to make it easy for you guys.
Yeah, and that's the end goal at the end of the day. But taking a look throughout the week, any interesting matchups that stick out to you guys?
It's going to be a rough week for the Hamilton Cardinals. I just think they got Welland twice, they got Barrie, and I think they've got one more game in there sandwiched in as well. So it's just I think they got 4 on the weekend, but it's a very tough weekend. It's a Thursday, Sunday with Welland, and you got Barrie on Friday night. So it's just like, okay, which way do you lean as far as your pitching staff? Do you let Boone pitch at home, or do you make him start in Welland? So it's like, well,
True.
you know, it's like, well, if I'm Owen Boone, I probably want the Friday night start just because it's at home, and it's probably going to be a little more friendlier and easier to pitch with your fans cheering it for you, and then having a packed house at the pond cheering against you. But he might be one of these guys. Again, Owen's just one of those guys. He probably loves to thrive on the road, just to
He does.
stick it up people's butts.
Yeah.
He loves to stick it up people's butts.
But yeah, for me, I'm curious to see what London does in Chatham. Just because I know, especially last year and this year, like it was never an easy game for majors going in there, right? And a midweek game, guys aren't accustomed to that. How do they get themselves up for that game? Where Chatham, that's kind of their shtick, is showing up, not an actual set home game. So they're used to kind of playing around the week. So I'm really curious to see what London team shows up.
Oh, and the last time London was up there, I believe it or not, I think Chatham actually got their first win against the majors in their franchise history. So, and maybe history repeats themselves here tonight. Or tomorrow. Well, actually, it is tonight. We are recording this for Tuesday. So, yeah. It might be. History might repeat itself again tonight. So, we'll see. But, yes, it's just, if Chatham-Kent really wants to make a statement, tonight would be the night to do that, as far as that stuff goes. And go, we're not gonna be pushovers here.
Yeah. Well, and I even look at other teams in the league, and maybe I'm biased because I call games for them, but you look at the Guelph Royals, home to Barrie, into Toronto on Friday, to start a 3-3. They also got to go and host Hamilton on Saturday night, and then go into Kitchener on Sunday afternoon. No convention at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium anymore. That's all done and over with. So Kitchener games are back for 2:00 first pitches on Sundays. But Guelph with a big weekend coming up. Kitchener with a little bit of rest. They don't play until Friday in London, and then that game on Sunday against the Guelph Royals. Brantford a little bit busy too, as they have a couple of home games coming up, in particular against Welland on Friday, against London on Saturday, and even on Sunday also having to play in London. So, a couple of games against the majors for the Brantford Red Sox. So, some teams near the bottom of the standings, they're going to have their work cut out for them.
Well, if my math is correct, I think Brantford's got 13 games left. So it's going to be like, what can we do these last 13 games? We're either going to be contending for playoffs, or we're tipping people's apple carts on the way out. That's one of the two things that's going to happen here. We're going to play spoilers here the rest of the way through. And I'm hoping they're contending. I'm hoping they're contending because it's more exciting baseball, and it's going to put more people in the stands here because, hey, these guys are actually, being contentions and everything else. And it's reverse tear-ups week, season out there too. So, hey, go take in a Brantford Red Sox game. It's not going to be the worst thing you're going to see here. These guys are very competitive right now. So go have some fun. Take the family out. Hey, it might throw a couple bucks at the concession stand. Buy a couple hot dogs, have a couple sausages, and just have some fun.
They are delicious, by the way.
Oh yeah.
There they are.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Unless has got anything else that you'd like to get off your plate this week?
I think we covered it all. I know next week we have to talk about tiebreakers and then, season series and everything else. So everybody gets the math behind them, and the lights just went off behind us. So that was how late we went into the podcast tonight.
I think the Undertaker gong just went off. So Dustin Richardson must be nearby.
Yeah, it must be. Watch out. Watch out. But yes.
But yeah, we'll be talking transaction deadline stuff next week. We'll be touching, as Neil touched on, tiebreakers and season series stats as well, because that plays a huge factor, in particular with season series that play 5 games instead of 6. So you really just have the head-to-head to deal with there, because there's no ties in baseball.
No ties in baseball, but we didn't throw any homework out at you guys, but I have a good idea for homework, actually. I want to see.
We're the best teachers in the world, aren't we?
Well, we almost let people off the hook here because, we're feeling generous about All-Star break, but yes. I got a couple ideas for you guys. I want to see if you guys were making T-shirts, because we're looking for something for the merch store. What would you make a T-shirt about the league of? Like, We can't use logos on it because those are off limits because they're those property of the teams. But come up with an IBL logo. Come up with something cool that encompasses the league. Something that you'd love to see on a T-shirt. Just because we're having some fun with that stuff, and we're looking for some ideas too. Because again, we're at the lull. We want to promote the IBL as much as we can too. But the other part of this homework is, of course, the second part of this homework, which is a totally different assignment. Who are your picks for All-Star? Well, not All-Stars. Who are your pick for awards? Who are your pick? If okay, now Rookie of the Year, we're going to let you guys pick anybody because I don't like how the Rookie of the Year award works in the league right now, but I understand why they're set up this way. Like as far as the league rules goes, you cannot be a former professional player, and you have to be Canadian. So that disqualified some guys last year. Had a really good season, but did help Mount Cam the MVP ballots because they couldn't give him that one, so they went the other way and gave him the MVP. But yes, it's possible that stuff. Keep that in mind. So let's go Rookie of the Year. Let's go MVP, and maybe the unsung hero of this league, or somebody
That's a good one.
somebody unsung hero. Let's go with somebody had a great season, but he's probably under the radar. Or, it's just somebody that deserves to have a little bit of 5 seconds of fame out there too. Just something to have some fun with.
I like that. I really
Can
do.
we add another award? Can we add another award?
Sure. Yes.
The reliever of the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No.
Can't forget about that.
We absolutely need a reliever in the year award. We also need a reliever of the week award because the odds are stacked against these guys. Like Danny Howitt last week, 3 appearances, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run allowed, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 3 appearances. And it's going to be an honorable mention this week. But how do you compete against a guy that goes out and throws 7 innings and shut up baseball? It's just not. The odds are not in your favor as far as your reliever in this league. And we don't have a reliever on the all IBL team either. So we got to fix that too before the end of the year. So that's my mission. The next couple of weeks, you got to rattle some chains, fight for some guys, stand on some soapboxes and canvas. But I'm going to do that. But yes, we definitely need that. And let us know your pitcher of the year too while you're at it. Just as far as that stuff. So reliever and pitcher, let's do 2 as far as that stuff goes.
All right. So just so I have it covered, pitcher and reliever of the year, rookie of the year, MVP,
And MVP.
and unsung hero. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the homework. And what was the other homework again? Oh, T-shirt ideas. You know what? Maybe we put something on the line with that. I loved how we did the contest for the All-Star tickets. We'll have to figure out what a prize would be. Obviously, maybe tickets to the next home game of your choice kind of thing. But
we got a merch shop. We got a merch shop in the league. If we actually use this design, maybe we'll send you something for it. Maybe we'll put it on your thing, and we'll send you a couple. You can give it up to your friends and say, "Hey, I made this thing." I got a kick out of it watching all these people, of course, with as I call it, the Diamond Duster, which has got all the league logos on it. And it wasn't my favorite design, but it's selling like crazy. And by the way, we're gonna have a little. If you pay attention sometime later this week, guys, the merch store is having a little discount later on this week. So you're gonna get an opportunity to save some dough, and we might even throw in free shipping if you go buy over $75. Got to work on that one still.
Big time.
Yeah. So we got to sell some merch. We got to get some more IBL stuff out to the fans. So
Oh, and by the way, if you do purchase an IBL item and you have you are wearing it to an IBL park near you, tag the league. Neil loves seeing that kind of stuff. We all love seeing that kind of stuff too, and we love putting it out there. People showing off that swag at an IBL ballpark near you, or even in another ballpark. Maybe if you're going to a Blue Jays game and you decide to bring some IBL wear, maybe we should bring some to Jamie Campbell to sport on the air. I know he's a fan of the league.
Yeah, he'd be for it.
Yeah, he is a fan of this. I think we got to get him a Diamond Duster, maybe a golf shirt or something. Maybe we'll take care of him and Joel.
Yeah.
Give them both some stuff.
I'm not too sure if Jamie's a regular listener to us, but Jamie, there's going to be some stuff coming your way.
There will be, definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Mark Perry. For my unsung heroes that are co-hosting with us, as usual, Neil Srivastava and Braden Farrington, we'll say so long, and we will see you next Wednesday for a special edition of the IBL Inside Pitch, the transaction deadline edition. Again, keep in mind, Chris Lazar probably going to come down on Thursday, but here's one more homework assignment for you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and you'll be notified anytime the IBL Inside Pitch has some new content, whether it's on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify. See you next week, folks.